What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the shop, and I've got not one, not two, but three vehicle updates for you guys. So obviously you guys have seen I've been working a ton on Blueberry, been working a ton on Cherry, and continuing to do that. But in case you didn't know, in case you haven't been around long enough, because it's been a minute, I do have this Ranger that I'm putting together for my brother Tyler, Project Gray area. So after I give you guys a recap on all the work that I did on this car and on this car, we're going to do a little bit of shredding in this because I'm tuning up suspension, trying to get things right with the actual tune. And we'll go over to my parents' place where Tyler's truck is at, and I'll give you a little update on that. So this fall/winter, we'll actually start working on the Ranger again, which is my main goal. So this project should be 100% wrapped up here pretty darn quick. This one is ready to roll. Now it's time to work on the Ranger. Not right this very second, but very soon. So let's break down what we got going on with both of these cars since you last seen them. I can't believe we're driving this thing. All right, so Blueberry. You guys saw I had a great outing there at Havlic's Fastest Street Car Shootout, but I did have some transmission overheating issues. So what I ended up doing is actually swapping transmission coolers and moving where the transmission cooler is placed. So I've got this cooler right down here. You can actually barely see it. It is way tucked up underneath the bumper. So I went in here, cut out all of this, and made a bunch of more airflow to get to the transmission cooler. And I'm actually going to have John over there at Delta Pag build me a super Billy Bad Boy dual fan shroud for this radiator. So that engine overheating will not be a thing no matter how hot it is. And ideally, when we're driving down the road, that transmission cooler will have enough air that it will actually cool the transmission. This is our old transmission cooler. So this is a nice thick cooler with its own fan on it. But the way that I had to mount this in there to get it to fit somewhat close to the transmission, because I don't feel like putting this in the back of the car and then running like 7-8 foot of line to it. And it's just, I'd rather just keep it nice and up front where I had it before. So this was originally, if you guys remember, was down here, right on those two flat steel plates. And then it kind of sat, did it sit with the fan down or the fan up? I can't remember. Fan up? Yep. Yeah, so I mean, it sat like that and it's just not getting any airflow there. So this fan just didn't quite keep up to what I was trying to do with it. Hopefully now that I have the cooler mounted up front, it's a little bit thinner, but bigger cooler. I think it's gonna cool better. I hope so, at least. Now that we've gone 790s with this car, I've went twice. So we went a 799 and then a 796 to back it up on horrible air. Track is nasty, greasy. Like everything working against us is a radial car. Like this car set personal best in the quarter mile with like a way slower 8th mile, way slower 60 foot. I think if we can get this on a tighter track, something that I can go back to the 1-teens, like bottom 1-teens, 60 foot, go like 490s, 5.0s out the 8th. I think it will go 780s, easily a 780, maybe even a 770. But to make it easier on the car so I don't have to throw as much power at it and I can get it to repeat the number consistently without having to work on it a lot, the best course of action I've kind of decided on is to strip a bunch of weight out of this. So in order to achieve that goal, hopefully, some of the things that I could definitely be taking weight out on this car and ideally still fit within the rules for Super Street, which is kind of the class that this car fits best in at least. Hood. This hood is 100% stock. It's still got all this bracing in here. Some of this bracing is steel. This hood is a solid 60 pounds probably. It's a heavy hood. The best course of action to get rid of that is probably just to get a regular thin carbon fiber or fiberglass hood. Haven't decided on that yet, but this hood has got to go. That's probably number one. And I got to get rid of my wiener shaped cutout. The next biggest thing, or the next heaviest thing on this car that is unmodified from the factory, is these doors. They don't have the interior door panels that are factory, but those don't really weigh all that much. It's all this in here that's behind this panel that actually weighs a lot. So these doors are super heavy. I'd like to do something with them. Most of the classes that I'm going to be running, I believe you have to have a steel door. I don't think they allow carbon fiber or fiberglass doors. So I'm thinking about different ways. If you guys know, let me know in the comments if you have ways to lighten up this chassis as much as I can while retaining mostly factory steel and factory glass. So those are kind of the two rules that I can't avoid trying to fit in, because if I put an all carbon fiber everything on this car, it's not going to fit in Super Street, and then I'll have to be in a class that has got all 6-second cars in it, which is just, I mean, I don't mind it. I don't really care that much about being competitive anyways, but it would be nice to go win some events, you know, like go to a smaller race or whatever. But that's kind of where I'm at on it. I want to retain it being all factory steel, all factory glass, and then just go as light as possible on everything else. So gutting out the doors would probably be the next step. Past that, really, most of the weight also in the back is in this trunk lid. So it's kind of hard to tell without actually feeling it, because it doesn't look that heavy, but this trunk lid is heavy. So all this steel bracing, I'm pretty sure this really can just get all cut out. That will free up some weight.
You can't do a fiberglass.
That's the thing on this too, though. I think that you can do a fiberglass trunk lid. I don't think they care about that. Now I'll have to just double check the rules, but a fiberglass trunk lid would be ideal. So we'd go from something that probably weighs 80 pounds, maybe, yeah, probably about 80 pounds. It's heavy, to something that's like 8-10 pounds. So that would be a good weight saver. After that, it gets to be really tricky to actually take weight out of these cars without taking structure out of it. The next thing that I've seen some people do, and I'm not sure how actually to go about doing this, would be to remove some of the inside bracing. So all this stuff has got double sheet metal. It's got all the factory mounts for factory interior. Realistically, I think all that can be cut out. I could get rid of the nitrous too, although it is nice to have just in case. That is, you know, an extra 20 pounds worth of stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be there. So I might consider taking that out and then just reinstalling it real quick if I end up needing it, if the air's like super bad or if it's struggling. But nitrous can also come out. That's another 20 pounds. Yeah, that's one of the things that kind of suck about the SN chassis over the Fox, is that a gutted Fox body is significantly lighter than a gutted SN. And that's just because of the way that they designed the body, how large it is. So a Fox body is a slightly smaller body than what this is, so it has to be lighter. I know that there are people that have got these cars pretty far under 3,000 pounds, you know, street trim, so we should be able to do it. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know in the comments for SN guys that are out there for taking weight out of this vehicle, because we want to go fast and not hurt engine stuff. So the engine, I did do a little health check on it, pulled all the spark plugs out, drained the oil, looked at the oil filter. Everything looks good. The last data log looks good. Engine's rocking and rolling. It's ready to go. The last thing that I'm kind of thinking of for taking weight out of this car would be taking some unsprung weight out of it. Down here we have my dual bare caliper setup, which is way too much brake for this car. One thing I've considered doing is taking one of these calipers off and then just using a single caliper in the rear instead of a dual caliper, and or doing a lightweight strange brake like what's up front. I think that could shave off, you know, a solid 10, 15, no, probably not 15, probably about 10 pounds of unsprung weight in the rear. That I think would help things tremendously, but I don't really got money to spend on a strange brake setup. So if somebody from TBM is watching this, hit your boy up. Let's work together on something, because brakes are expensive and they got really nice brakes. So TBM, hit me up. So that pretty much wraps up this car. Blueberry is rocking and rolling, ready to go deep into the sevens, ideally, hopefully, Lord willing. Oil pan is working great, got great oil pressure. The engine just absolutely running like a sewing machine. So cannot complain about that.
Props to the engine builder.
Props to the engine builder, man. This thing has been a little bit of a pain in the butt just with the alternator, because I've actually gone through 2 alternators now on this car. So I got rid of the factory unit and put a nice Power Master alternator in there with a super large pulley. So I'm not overspinning it. It's gonna have well under the shaft speed RPM for that alternator. I don't wanna be blowing this thing up all the time, because I know my buddy Alex, who also has one of these and has the factory alternators, he's burned through many of them. This is an expensive aftermarket alternator, and I'm hoping that this will avoid that. If you guys remember from the previous video with this car, you remember that this belt was squeaking something awful because it just had too much load on the alternator and not enough belt wrap on my crankshaft pulley down there. So what I did to compensate for that was add this idler right here with this little bracket. So it's nice and well supported. We've got about not quite 75% belt wrap on that, so it should be fine. I've been driving around with no belt squeaks, so I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, also, I was able to add this idler right here in place of the water pump, which is normally what makes this thing belt wrap correctly, and still mount my water lines behind the pulleys and behind the belt. So if I do blow belts off on this thing, I don't got to take water lines off. You guys remember I was kind of making a big deal about that, and I'm glad that we were able to do that, because this thing, if it's on the rev limiter and it's getting beat on, guarantee it's going to eat belts. That's like a common wear item that's going to be replaced on it. So shout out to Torque Storm for making an excellent kit. Haven't had any issues with it yet. It is just taking everything I put at it. Makes great horsepower for how slow we're spinning this thing. So last video we put this 12 rib pulley on just because they didn't have an 8 rib pulley that was this size yet. So I actually am spinning this blower significantly slower than what a lot of people are. So I've got a really slow ratio on this blower to try and keep it really tame, and it'll still make over 500 horsepower, but it's gonna hopefully live longer and be happier. Make less hot air because it's not intercooled. That is where this comes in. This is a really nice Billy Bad Boy intercooler that I got, courtesy of our customer, Scott. He's got a really cool Pontiac that this was originally built for to go into his Firebird, but he doesn't have the room or frontal area for it in a car that's got a really narrow front nose. So he ended up sending this over to me to use. Shout out to Scott, really appreciate it. We're somehow, some way, gonna fit this into that car.
We got room.
Yeah, you know, it's only like four inches wide. I mean, just get the bandsaw out, get the porta saw out, start cutting.
Cut everything.
Cut everything out. No, but seriously, thanks Scott for the intercooler. It's super nice. We're gonna end up using it on this to avoid the intake air temperatures that this is gonna have. Where I'm gonna put it yet, I have no clue. I'm actually somewhat thinking about doing like a rear mount intercooler.
That'd be cool.
You know how some drift guys do that? Because there's plenty of room back here. So one thing that, if you guys are familiar with the drift scene, a lot of guys do rear mount radiators. I don't know if I've seen rear mount intercoolers or not. Have you?
No.
It might not work that great, but it's better than nothing. So we're considering doing a rear mount intercooler on it. But once we move the radiator to the back, maybe it will just have a bunch of room. I don't know. But definitely that could be something we do over winter. So we end up taking this rear windshield out, doing some nice ducting, putting the radiator right back here at a little bit of an angle so it catches some wind. All things that I really would like to do to this car. I think would look super sweet. That's kind of all going to be in the future though, because that's kind of a big job. That's a huge job. Stay tuned for that. That's probably going to be after we do Ranger stuff. I really need to get that car going though. Before we go over to my parents' place and take a look at the Ranger, I just wanted to mention to you guys that I am planning on attending Holley Ford Fest with Blueberry. And not only am I bringing Blueberry, I'm bringing my boy Alex's car up in the stacker with us. So Alex is going to be there drifting. I'll be there drag racing. So look forward to some great racing content on that. That's going to be end of September. So if you guys are in the area, come find me. Let's link up. Let's go do some racing. We lost the power steering belt.
What?
We lost the serpentine belt. Whoops. Well, that's not fun. Yeah, it made one rip on it, popped right off. Freaked me out because I lost power steering for a second.
Lost everything.
Guess I'll go get the wrench and put it back on real quick. Well, I think we found our issue right here. See how this pulley is all marred up? I think it's because it came over and smacked this bolt that's sticking out just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go get another washer. We'll space this back out and then put the serpentine belt back on. I think it should hopefully stay on this time. If not, then we got some stuff to figure out.
That's why we test.
Why we test? 2 washers. That should back it out a little bit, just temporarily.
Try number 2. Give you all a little update on my car. It's green. Look at that. We'll talk more about it later.
We've got our first data log, which is what I was trying to get. It had a one funny spot right there. When I went to go spin back around right here, it stalled on me. I'm trying to figure out what that was all about. The data log looks so much different from when you're drag racing and doing this. It's like it's like I'm looking in the wrong spot. But
Oh yeah, because it's not just wide open throttle.
it's not just wide open throttle, and then you're looking at RPM and everything. You got to look at all the transient stuff. And it didn't record very high resolution that time.
Sounds insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way this thing sounds, dude. Once this exhaust gets ripped off from inevitably going off the side of the track, we got to rebuild it, but like this time nicer and maybe slightly smaller tube, like up into the chassis a little bit more so it doesn't get ripped off. But I'm going to rock it with this exhaust until it's done.
3-inch or 3.5?
This is 3-inch. This is a 3-inch X pipe, straight pipe.
Huge.
Yeah. That's
for this.
Yeah. Yeah. It could also just be low on fuel.
Sloshing around.
Yeah. Because that's right when it did it, was like when the momentum transferred over, and then all of a sudden it had no throttle, like no pedal.
What do you mean? It says full tank.
Oh, yeah. The fuel gauge I forgot to hook up before I put the cell in it. Yeah. So that's not very useful.
That don't sound good.
Well, lost the belt again.
Wrapped up in there tight now.
The alternator belt?
Yeah, that's a -1 belt.
Oh, dang it.
I tried it in first gear just to see what a little bit more RPM was going to be like, and it didn't like it.
That's probably why LT runs.
LZ.
LZ run, yeah.
Well, good old LT.
Sorry, LZ.
LT's new name.
LT is your new freaking name for me. But the runs the electric power steering pumps.
I know, I really thought about doing that.
Yeah.
It's not that much more expensive than just a normal power steering pump.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
All right, well, we got the belt unwrapped from around the crankshaft. It really wasn't wrapped around there very tight because I shut it off fast as soon as I heard it flipping around in there. So I'm trying to figure out if this belt was already maybe just compromised from when it skipped off earlier, or if we have a belt issue still somewhere in here. I don't know. It just seems like it's fine. I mean, it doesn't really squeak. It seems like it's got good belt wrap. The pulleys seem to be straight. Nothing appears to be... Oh, this alternator does not feel very good. I guess the only way to tell would be to put another belt on it and see if it's still charging. If I killed another alternator with this thing already, I'm gonna be mad. We got to figure something out for an alternator. If that's the issue, we don't know yet. But for now, we have to get another belt and throw another belt on there. An electric motor to the alternator
And electric power steering pump.
so that the electric motor charges the alternator through the battery.
Motor charges the alternator.
Does that make this an EV?
It's like free energy.
It's free energy.
It's free energy.
So I guess we'll just fire this thing up, drive it back inside. We got a new belt to put on and some exploring to do on this. Well, we are here at my parents' place where we're currently keeping the Ranger because we do not have any more room at the shop, and I only have so much room at my garage, so I can't really fit it there. This is where it's been collecting dust, unfortunately, for the last, how many months, probably?
8.
Like 8 months. It's been a minute. I mean, we didn't work on it most of spring and then all of summer, so probably like 6 months at most. I'm thinking probably 6 months. So it's just been sitting here waiting to get worked on. Engine has been in and mounted. There's a bell housing on the back. The bell housing all fits. I just have to mate the transmission to it and then get a clutch for it. I did get, since it's been here, a flywheel and some other accessory drive stuff. The main thing that is going to be the hold up on this whole deal is doing headers. Headers are going to be an absolute nightmare to do on this. If you remember from the previous videos from me working on this car, there is a whole bunch of tomfoolery that has to happen with headers on this thing because they make 8.2 deck height headers for this. They do not make 9.5 deck headers for a Ford Ranger chassis. So just going to have to figure something out. It's all part of the game. The game plan for working on this car is going to be after Cherry, and then if Blueberry comes back from Ford Fest with no injuries, then we're going to get right to work on this. In the ideal situation, Cherry would be 100% ready to go. I can bring that home. That can be out of the way for the winter, and we can focus on this thing again. Realistically, I don't think that this car has that much to do. It shouldn't be that complex to make happen. I mean, we've already ran this engine on the dyno. We already have everything we need to make the engine run. We've already got a transmission. We already got a bell housing and a flywheel. There's really just not going to be too much to it other than the pain in the butt of trying to make headers and exhaust and then doing accessories, which even the accessories, honestly, are not going to be hard. I actually took the old accessories off of Cherry's stock engine, so it's going to have SN95 Mustang accessory drive kit on this, which should make it pretty easy to work on, and it should fit just fine because we have plenty of room in here, even once we put the radiator back in. So that's kind of where we sit on this car for the time being. As far as suspension, I do have a plan for getting the ride height right in the front. You'll notice that this thing's got like quite the Cali lean going right now, which we ain't no fans of that around these parts, so we got to fix that stance. Rear is pretty much right where I want it. The front needs to come down at least another 3 inches. But the good thing is they actually make 3-inch drop I-beams because this is a twin I-beam front suspension. And I'm trying to find the company. These are them right here. Pretty sweet looking units. So that would be a 3/4 lowering. Oh, this is a full kit. We don't really want the full kit. We just want the fronts. So that's kind of the plan for front suspension. We'll ditch these factory I-beams. I think these ones are actually set up to be a little bit lighter too. So we'll shave some weight out of the front of this thing, get it a little bit less nose heavy, and get the right looking stance on this. As far as steering, it's going to use a factory steering box. So we're going to bolt that in right here. And we'll do our oil filter adapter. So we're going to end up moving this somewhere else, doing a remote filter mount. Should be pretty easy. And that's pretty much it on this thing. Like I said, guys, it shouldn't be too difficult to get this thing operational and running, especially if I got a couple guys giving me a hand, get the parts ordered up that we need. This thing will be rocking and rolling.
What's the plan with it?
The plan?
It's done. Yeah.
When it's done, I need Tyler to come over here and then do a big fat burnout in it and maybe some donuts. Just enjoy it. It does make, this actually made more horsepower on the dyno than Cherry's engine did, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was like 550.
Yeah, this made like 550. So yeah, he'll have a riot in this car because this thing weighs less than Cherry. Is gonna have the same transmission, same rear gear. Actually, no, this one's got a 373 rear gear with a T5. So he'll have a little bit more street friendly rear gear in it. So that's the main goal for Tyler with this truck is to enjoy it, street drive it, maybe take it to the drag strip when he's ready and break a bunch of T5s. We have to swap a bunch of transmissions out because T5s, in this kind of application, if you take it to a drag strip and it really hooks on a prep track with a good tire, it'll shatter. I guarantee it. It's a little bit different when we're doing it for like drifting because Cherry's got the T5 and I haven't had any issues with that yet, but it's also on a 255 tire pumped up to 30 PSI on just a regular street surface, not the track.
Spinning.
It's spinning and not hooked up. So it's a little bit, there's a little bit more lenience there for that transmission than in this application if he takes it to a drag strip. So that's all kind of stuff that we're going to have to talk about, and we'll figure out once he's actually ready to do that, what transmission we're going to have to swap to. I want to make an exhaust kind of similar to Cherry's on this, but I don't know how I'm going to do it because I think the only way we're going to be able to do headers is to run it outside of the frame and then out. Well, once you do that, you can't make an X-pipe with it. It has to be a true dual. Or I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see. Maybe we can do an X-pipe. Maybe we can't. Ultimately, I don't think it's going to sound that bad if it has just a regular true dual exhaust on it because it does have a nice cam. The cam should make it sound good still. All right, now we got to run down to AutoZone, go get a belt for Cherry, and get that thing up and operational. So let's head back to the shop. All right, guys, we're back at the shop. I've got the serpentine belt on Cherry right here. Looking good. That's running good. But before I let you guys go, we are going to this car show with none other than Blueberry. And we're gonna be taking Sugar Mama. So Dad's gonna be driving that, I'm gonna be driving my car. And we're gonna go see what's going on. All right, here we got Dad clearing out Sugar Mama. It's a little bit loaded up on fuel. Sounds better. Get the old Italian tune-up. All right, guys, we made it. We are here at the show. We got our hoods popped. Now let's go check out some cars. I don't know, there's a ton of people.
There's a lot of people.
Here we go. We got another race car here with us. Nice. Dude, the turbos match my car.
Good, good. Yes, I want
BTR intakes, like a sniper manifold. It's a pretty nice truck.
And then cool, no O2 sensors.
Yeah.
Huh? No O2 sensors.
No O2 sensors.
Just tunes by feel. It's good.
Check this thing out. The first thing I noticed was all these flames and how he made all this fairing himself. And then cut out the flames. It's pretty cool. More cool cars rolling in. This thing has got an old LT out of what looks to be from like a Vet or a Camaro with twin turbos on it. It's pretty well done, actually. Not too bad. I don't know what this thing actually does. Some kind of car cooler. Very nice. Well, we walked across something special here. We got our buddy Jeff. What's going on, man?
Living the dream.
That's right. So you cruised this thing out here from, where do you live?
Montague.
In the Montague. So pretty long drive and made it fine, no problems.
No problem at all.
Heck yeah. So give
About
us
20 miles.
I don't think anybody on this channel has actually seen this car, on my channel at least. It's been on my dad's channel, I believe. But give us a rundown on what's all been done to this thing. Or what do you got going on?
Your dad, Steve Morris, built a monster LS for us. It is just over 1,000 horses tires, twin turbo. You run about 20 pounds of boost. And it is just a ton of fun. It's not trailer queen. We drive it everywhere we can.
That's what we like to see.
It's all about showing and letting people check it out and having fun.
Heck yeah. So what do you got going on in this interior, man? I see there's quite a lot of equipment you got going on.
There is. Let's hop over to the side, easier to see. We've got a decent stereo system in it. Come on around.
He says decent stereo system.
We have 6 kick L712s. We have 5 sets of components and just shy of 30,000 watts.
Whew. Oh yeah, look, they're all back there.
100% custom.
Yeah, look at them bad boys.
So I need like $13
Oh yeah, center console and everything. Now what is that? So what is that dash? It says Alpine on it.
The head unit is an Alpine.
Oh, is that?
It's just a radio head unit.
Gotcha. So it's like a super fancy doubled-in thing.
Yeah. Big touchscreen.
Very nice. Super nice interior work. Who did all the interior work on this?
We had some help covering the seats and the dash with the leather, but everything else my father and I built.
Nice, dude. And then what about the paint?
We had a buddy of mine at Dusty's up in Ludington do the paint,
Mhm.
and he spent hours making it pristine.
Yeah, I mean, it just,
We got that antifreeze pop going on when it gets in the sunlight.
yeah, it's kind of hard to see because there's shadows and stuff going on. But yeah, the paint is just immaculate. Right? Oh, man.
We even got our Bernies.
Got the burnout wheels. Are you going to do a burnout today?
We're hoping to get them right down off there.
Heck yeah. Where are you going to do that at?
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
Everywhere we can.
Dude, that's awesome.
But I've seen it around.
All right,
Stand
Jeff,
by.
dude, it was good seeing you.
You too.
We'll see you again later, right?
Yes, sir.
Little SN95 action. They're all lining up to go cruise. All right, guys, we made it back from the cruise. It was an awesome event. There was tons of people, tons of fans lining the side of the road, egging people to do burnouts. We did a couple of them and had fun. So overall, it was a great Labor Day weekend. I appreciate you guys hanging in there watching. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time.